Hi there, everyone. This is Sharon for another Conscious Sharon moment. And so, for this Conscious Sharon moment, what we will talk about is community support. And before we get started, remember to like and share, and remember to subscribe. Remember to have comments. I really want to hear what you have to say about these topics and how I can bring you more. Because I know that these are life hacks for you, aha moments, revelations, insight, and just those things that may make you go, and this in your home, your work, wherever you are, because we cannot separate ourselves from who we are deep within. And so these conscious sharing moments are here so that you can be better in life, so you can live in joy. And so here we go. So this topic is community support. Now, the first thing that may come to your mind may be, some organizations or some groups. And so definitely talking a little bit about groups. So when it comes to community support, in order, I would say, to when we're on a healing journey, remember, healing journey is a journey, it's life. Because Lord knows life has things that come down on us. Woo, woo, woo. And so when it comes to community support, you've heard me say this before in previous conscious sharing moments, in that it is really, really, really important for us to really be connected, not only with ourselves, but also with others. One thing that I have discovered, and I realized I backtracked, that I wasn't doing it as much, and it showed up in my life. I definitely can say that. But it is really important, even for those of you who may not like peopling, meaning being around people. For those who, may identify as being an introvert, as myself, it is still important for us to be connected with others, especially in a group setting. It just does something. Just like when you're watching YouTube and listening to podcasts. I don't know about you all, but I learned a lot about myself, but you learn so much more when you are, especially when you're face to face. I know COVID, the pandemic had did something about that, but when you're able to go face to face to a retreat, to a share circle, to a yoga class, especially somewhere where you're able to talk and when you're able to listen, you learn so much. It's like someone else's story. And this is why it's so important for us. Whatever that story is, whatever I would say the lesson is, that you're able to share that. And this is what I'm doing to you all. Like a lot of these conscious sharing moments are, like I've told you before, they're conversations, they're observations, some of them are my own experience, and I really do feel like that these are things that can help you. So again, when it comes to community support, connect with a group with this. It's not like it has to be a support group, because it doesn't mean that anything is wrong with you. Let's reframe that. Let's say we're going to these things just so that we can be a better version of ourselves, so that we can learn, so we can be there to support others, whatever that may be. And so it's important for us to take care of ourselves individually and also in community. That's basically what it is. And so find a yoga class, find, a meditation class, find a share circle somewhere, where you can learn something new. If you got a hobby, do that, because you would be surprised of what you can learn about yourself, what you can do. And so it is really, 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 really important to make those connections, because at the end of the day, no matter who we are, where we are hardwired for connections. And it shows up in so many different ways, even though I really do like my alone time. But I also really enjoy connecting with others, talking to others, especially when there is a topic that I love, which is this, and among other things. And so go to that retreat and you're like, oh, share, but I cannot afford it. Yes, you can. Save money. Look at a retreat. Most of the time, there are, months ahead. Save your money. This is so many different things. It's about discipline. One thing I learned about myself is like when it comes to planning and discipline, these are things that I definitely working on. And so, in saying all of that, go to the retreat, find a share circle, find a group. Even if you just want to learn something new, it doesn't mean it has to be, like a personal development class. Um, and those are very beneficial. Let me tell you, I didn't know how beneficial they were until later on in life. And so the whole point is find your tribe, find your group. It may be a different, challenge yourself once a week, once a month to go to a different group, so that even if you just sit there, even if you sit there and not say anything, you are still learning something. You are still absorbing something. Because I cannot tell you how many times when I have first started this self care journey, like one of the things that I did, I'm like, I'm going to learn everything that I can. And so I went to several retreats. I looked at self care and looked at learning, looked at self development in so many different ways. I did it from the yoga perspective, I did it from a business perspective, I did it as just so many different ways. And if anything, I learned about me. And I'm like, oh, I'm coming in these things, so I can, learn how to help people in a different way. But I was helping myself. But one thing that I realized, like in the past year or so, I kind of stopped being in community, and it really impacted my life. That will be another story. But I learned so much from that. And so this is why I'm saying being in community is really so important. I mean, you can learn things. I mean, even in being in community, a good example is networking. I went to a networking event a month or so ago, and then I was able to connect with someone in which I have a business venture with now. You see what I'm saying? I went there for one reason, at least for my agenda, but end up with something else. And so you never know what can come out. And again, I learned so much about myself. And even if I'm not learning about myself, sometimes someone may be talking about a situation and I'm like, oh my, I know such and such can benefit from this. But most of all, I usually learn something about myself. Either I learn something about myself, or it's something inspirational, or it's motivating me to do something, or inspiring, or it's affirming. And so I don't want to say we need that because, ideally for it to come from ourselves. But when we hear that from others, especially for someone we don't even know, it is very confirming. And so find your tribe, find, like I say, challenge yourself to have, and like now, because of the pandemic, there's so many different groups and share circles and healing circles and hobbies and things, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is, whatever that you need is out there. Find that thing for you, because when it comes to healing, it's an inside job. When it's come to healing, it is something to do. It's not just, even let's say you go somewhere, you take in this information. It's not just about taking in the information, it's implementing the information as well. It's not enough to know, it's enough to take the action and allow it to, you know, play out, to unfold. And so tell me, what community support, I'm saying organization, but group organization, share circles, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you may need help with? What is it that you may need more support of? What is it that you wish that someone could do? Believe me, there's a group for that. If there's not a group for that, create one. That's how so many groups got started, because there wasn't one that identified with the person that needed it. So they created it themselves, and they have a nice community. And so do that. And again, when it comes to these things, they are for you and for others. And, like I said, when it comes to social setting, a lot of times I'm like really quiet. But when there's a certain topic or something, things that hit, it's like, hey, I have something to say about this. But if anything, just by you being in the presence of others that are healthy, that are in alignment with you, you will grow. So that's the other thing, because we cannot just go by our own thoughts and we're not bringing in information, and it's not enough. Even though you've heard me say, when it comes to, improving yourself, and when it comes to healing, when it comes to getting better, is to, listen to YouTube, to watch YouTube, listen to podcasts, to have conversations, to read books, all of those things. But remember, it's the conversation piece of it. And part of that is being in conversation with others, not just one-on-one, but let's just say in a group, in a community, in a tribe, whatever you want to call it. It is so, so, so important to be connected with healthy individuals that are in alignment with you. And sometimes you may not know that they're in alignment until you have a conversation, until you go out there. And so the other piece I'm going to just say, and then I'm going to leave this, is that sometimes our comfort zone is not helping us. It is killing our spirit, killing our soul, killing our emotions. And so do not allow your comfort zone, because you may be afraid, whatever comes up, just know it's not going to last, because the better of you is going to show up in those things once that uncomfortableness kind of surpasses. Okay. And so just breathe through it, because you are here to thrive. You are here to make a life of yourself, for yourself, and with others who are healthy and in alignment, so that you can shine. And so go ahead and let me know in the comments what group, organization, share a circle, whatever it is. Challenge yourself to do that, because I'm challenging myself to attend as many networking events that I can. This is not who I am, but it's who I am becoming, because it's important to connect with others. So thank you for joining me for this Conscious Sharon moment. Remember to like and share, and let me know in the comments where you're going to go.